Hello guys, my name is Erickson and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over my top 5, in my opinion, my top 5 biggest filmmaking mistakes that you should be avoiding. Without any other further ado, let's get on with today's video. And at number 1, we have not having a contract. When you first start out and you don't have a contract, which you should, but you don't think it's necessary or anything, there's another way you can protect yourself or guarantee that you're going to get paid for your services, which is do not send the final product without a watermark. I know this may seem self-explanatory, but a lot of people, like a lot of beginners, don't know that this is an option. I clearly didn't know. However, not having a contract when you get to a higher level in your career can be very detrimental. So it's good practice to start now. I cannot stress this enough. Not having a contract is one of the worst things when it comes to video production. I've been burned so many times and lost lots of money when I first started out in this. Learn from my mistakes and go make yourself a contract. It protects both you and your client. What I mean by this is for your client, it gives them an incentive to pay, or not to pay, to deliver on their part of the deal, which is paying you, of course. And it also reassures the clients that you're going to be delivering on your part of the deal with the video. A written agreement is very powerful, especially when it comes to court. So, like I said many times, get yourself a damn contract. Alright, let me tell you a story. This happened to me twice already. I know, very stupid. But this guy came up to me, asking for a music video. He tells me that one of my clients referred him. So I was like, alright, cool, bet. Let's shoot this video. Keep in mind that this is when I first started out in video production. So I was like a noob, a beginner. I didn't know jack shit. After I finished shooting and editing the video, I sent him the whole video, the entire video. Worst idea ever. Never send your client the final product, the full video, without a watermark until your client has paid the final or the rest of the check. But me, not knowing anything, trusted that he was going to pay me. And guess what happened? He ghosted me and I never heard from him again. If I had a contract, however, or sent him the video with a watermark, things could have turned out differently. I mean, it is what it is. It was my fault at the end of the day, so I paid the price for it. Alright, moving on. The second mistake you want to avoid is bad exposure. Bad exposure straight up makes your video look like shit, and it just makes you look like a noob. And you don't want to look like a noob, you want to look like a professional business. So, get your exposure correct, or get your exposure right. That means learning your ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. Let me show you 2 clips, and you tell me which one looks better. If you said B, you were wrong. If you said A, you were right. Of course, A looks better. You know why? Because whoever shot this got the exposure right. Some of you might be saying, well, can't you just fix it in post? For the people that think that everything could be fixed in post, you should start now and never become a filmmaker. When you're shooting something on set, your first instinct is to get it right as you're shooting it, not in post. You want to limit the amount of post-production on your video as much as you possibly can. You can ask over 100 cinematographers and they tell you the same exact thing. But I digress. What I'm trying to say is get your exposure right, and it'll make your video look 100 times better. Moving on, the third mistake you want to avoid is bad lighting. I guess this kind of fits in with exposure, but if you have bad lighting in your video is going to turn out bad. Filmwriter actually just released a video a while back on DIY lighting at home. I recommend you check it out because it has great information on how to light both an environment and a person, which is household lights. But yeah, bad lighting equals bad video. In the future, I plan on making a video on my top 5 best lighting setups. If you think that's something you'll be interested in, please consider subscribing and I'll keep you posted. If you want to shoot outside, however, the best way to get great lighting is during golden hour. That's when the sun is just about to set and you get that amazing, beautiful golden light. This, by far, is my favorite time to shoot. One thing you should never do when you're shooting outside is shooting in direct sunlight, meaning high noon. This is the worst time to shoot because it gives harsh shadows and it's not flattering to your actors or actresses' face. The other best time to shoot outside is on overcast days, so when it's like hella cloudy outside. The clouds kind of act like a big diffuser, diffusing the harsh sunlight, giving you a soft, even lighting all around. Just be careful it doesn't rain. Moving on to number 4 is not planning your shots ahead of time. Pre-production is just as important for your projects as actually shooting the video. Planning out ahead of time drastically impacts how your video is going to turn out. When I first started out with video production, I did a lot of run and gun filmmaking. I mean, don't get me wrong, run and gun filmmaking is really fun. However, when I started actually planning out my shoots, I mean like shot listing, storyboarding, my video actually turned out better. Now in my second term of being a cinematographer, 90% of my shoots are planned out one way or another. Because I, as a cinematographer, I want to provide my clients with the best product or video that I could possibly produce. And if for some reason the client doesn't like that and just wants me to pull up and shoot just whatever, I tell them that the quality of work that comes from guerrilla filmmaking is not going to be my best work. So in turn, the video quality is not going to be the best that I could produce. And yes, sometimes I am wrong and the video actually turns out to be a banger, but that's very rare, and I'd rather not take chances when it comes to my work and your money. Last but not least, number 5 is not knowing your damn camera. So you just got a new camera, you're super excited, and you just want to go try it out on a shoot. You book a client and you start preparing. Come shoot day, you're on set with your brand new camera, trying to figure out how to change the frame rate or turn off false color. You just end up wasting everybody's time and just completely looking like a noob, like an amateur. You should have learned everything, and I mean everything about your camera before booking a paid client. I just recently bought the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. This is the camera that I'm using to shoot this video with. I actually had the Pocket Cinema camera for a full month before I started using it on paid projects because I wanted to get the best quality I possibly could out of that camera. Don't get me wrong, I was super excited and I wanted to go out there and start using the camera on like every production because it's in 4K. It's my first 4K camera. But I calmed myself down. I learned my camera first, everything I needed to know, and then I started booking clients. And at the end of the day, I provided my clients with the best work I could possibly produce, and they loved it and booked me again for the next shoot. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment and liking. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.